You know, one thing that families ask me a lot about is, should my kid take their school lunch to school, or should they purchase at school? And you know, that no matter what you choose to do, there's not a right or wrong answer to that. It really depends more on your child. A lot of our kids are very picky eaters, and so if they purchase at school, they're probably going to dump the majority of it in the trash unless it's something that's really a high level preferred food. The other thing that can happen sometimes with the older kids, when you set up a lunch account, they buy 5 popsicles and they don't buy anything of any value. Now you can go, I don't know if you knew that, you can go on the PayPam's website and you can actually see what they're buying. And a lot of times they're buying popsicles for all their friends, or they're buying 5 French fries and no protein. So make sure if they're older that you have some control of that process and you're not just pouring money into that account. With our younger kids, it's more of a cafeteria style, so they have choices of different things and you get a menu. I think it's really good if your kiddo wants to explore new food. It's a nice option to try that, but you don't want to sacrifice the fact that they're not eating, because they really do need to eat and keep their nourishment up for the day. So it's kind of a balancing act. But I always tell parents, for our kids that are really picky eaters, get a lunch box that they really love, some character, something that they've picked out. And then what I usually do is I will put preferred foods in there, but I might pair it with something that's maybe a middle grade food, something they don't totally love, but something they don't totally hate. And I also, if I feel there's a feeding issue with my kiddo, I would talk to the teacher who is ever monitoring lunch and make sure they're not just dumping their whole lunch in the trash. You have to have some control. So I would make sure I pointed that out, or I'd send a letter to the school, or have your doctor write something that the child is in fact a picky eater and we have to be accountable for their nutritional intake. So these are just some great ideas, but also go together and shop for lunch. Plan a menu, decide the things you want so there's some variety. Make it a fun process, and so that it's not just the same peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day. There's lots of variety. You can do a lot of wonderful fresh things, and especially for our kiddos that have special diets, the ones with gluten intolerance, it's probably a better idea that you make the lunch, but you make it a creative process, because the school's not really going to be able to accommodate that as well in their setting. So I hope this is just a few tips, so enjoy them and enjoy lunch at school.